Welcome to Journal of the Scots. This is an episode of Journal Entry, and it's just a fun time for me every week to kind of think of it as a week in review. Some personal, probably a little bit more Lego related, hopefully. And it's just a lot of fun for you to join me on this ride in the journey for the plastic brick. So, with that, the theme, I'm changing things up a little bit, and sorry there wasn't one last week. It's been the Hawaii vacation has taken up a majority of my time, and catching up from that. Going on vacation is a double-edged sword for me, 'cause since I'm a workaholic, do a lot of work, and then of course there's things in the personal life that you have to do, whether it's the stuff with the kids or even cleaning the dishes, and maybe even some of it is doing a little gaming, here and there too, that you're just like, I just can't get in the mood to build. Plus, this week I had the big thing was that really stopped me from building was that it was over 80 degrees. So I came back from Hawaii, and then it was a really nice weather week, and so you got to take the dog for walks. You go out with the family, play kickball, do all the things but building. So I think I asked the question a week or two ago about, is building season over? And while I would say it's never over, thank you very much, Will, but the bulk of it, it's getting hard. It's going to be harder and harder to do a lot of consistent building. And even at the end of May, it's going to get even more difficult because I'm going to be entering my step challenge that I do every year. I need to get like 20,000 steps a day, and that is not going to be easy. And it's not going to lend itself. I'm going to be like building Lego and doing this at the same time. That's going to be really hard to do. So I think I really need to put in some serious effort, probably mid-May on my mock, and really get that thing as knocked out as possible. Otherwise, I'm going to be like barely able to do anything. I'm really worried that I'm going to run into this summer hitting and not be able to complete my mock. So shout out to TJ if you ever do watch. So that's Titanium J. Make sure to follow him. He completed his Ninjago mock for Brickworld Chicago, and it looks like next level. Just like, probably like a UCS version of one of the temples. Pretty sweet. So check out Brick Hive, Brick World Chicago, or it's the Good Morning Brick World in the morning. We watch that. Make sure to follow Ben's Bricks Designs. He is also streaming just during the middle of that. I usually switch over at some point to Ben's stream. So one thing I do want to talk about, and it's positivity in the Lego community. That is a topic I've thought about for a little bit, and I'm going to kind of ramble. And I think, one of the things, there was some discussion last time around positivity, and maybe there isn't so much. Like, is the Lego community always very positive? And I think sometimes people probably make inadvertent comments. Think of them as YouTube lends itself to those sensational type things like clickbaiting and saying, I have quit Lego, or this is the last set I'm ever building. Even though it's the last set maybe this week or the next month, it's kind of a play on words, so it's not really clickbaiting, but it is kind of getting people to click for a potential negative event. Like, how many times do we see headlines on a news article where, like, we're getting closer to war with China? I mean, okay, we might be, but are we differently than last week? Is there really any difference? Maybe. But maybe it's in the devil's always in the details a little bit and what's happening. Or you dig in and maybe it was like, oh, some one-off thing, and now somebody's speculating that something else is going to happen when there's actually no difference. So I think in the Lego community too, I do see, some of that is happening. Overall, I think there's a lot of really, really good people. Like, you think of some of the most positive, happy people that I've had, and what's, I guess, a little frustrating is they don't always last, and they, people come and go. Like, for example, Sarah Star Bricks, I think she had great reasons to not do any streaming, but she was extremely positive. Like, you come in and she'd be like, hello, oh, welcome friends. And she's just naturally very friendly person. Similar to Adora Build, another great stream. I think she hasn't been able to stream a ton lately, but I know she appeared back last week. These are like ultra positive folks. And then folks like, like Hive is a very positive person, but then also tends to kind of go on rants and things like that. And that's okay. I think it's just an outlet for folks. But is that negativity or is that positivity? I don't necessarily. I think you just have to look for it. I think positivity in the Lego community starts with yourself and participating in other people's stream in a positive manner, making nice comments, like even if, like, let's say the mock isn't perfect, it's okay for constructive criticism. Like, don't just come saying I don't like your build. Say like, hey, like maybe a color change. Have you thought of a color change? But so far it looks great. Like, how you position things in life really matters. One thing in business we always talk about from a positivity standpoint, and I've been in the business world for over, well, actually like 23, 24 years, something like that, is always assuming good intent. I think if you assume good intent, I think even when people do things that seem bad or negative, there wasn't like an ill intent. It just kind of came out, and they didn't necessarily think about how the intent would be perceived. So always kind of think of good intent in folks. Even some of the most triggering people, there's probably something somewhere that they thought that maybe this would be a good idea. It probably wasn't, but at the same time, I think it boils down to each of us. If you think about it, if I am positive and then another 10 people take that same concept and post something really positive, that really does create that true positive Lego community. And I think it's important for us to take that in an individual standpoint, because we can't count on Adora Build and Sarah Bricks and all these other folks who are extremely the top end of positivity in the community to always be there. They might have to not stream for a month or two. So I can't lean on other people to be positive in the community. It's on you, the viewer, it's on you, the content creator, individually to go out there and make a difference and be positive. And that is what creates that positive energy. And I think that's going to show. I think it's easier to do this in person. So I'm really looking forward to Brick World Chicago. That's going to be amazing. I'm fully signed up. The days are off. I'm fully registered. That reminds me, I need to register my mock, which in positive news is making a little bit of progress. I'm like way behind now. I think I'm at least 3 to 4 weeks behind where I need to be. But I think I can catch up. I'm probably going to take a day off here and there, end of April, really make that hard push, like I said, before I get into one of those step competitions. That, and I'm also learning some techniques along the way before I get there. So I feel like I'm not drowning in sets. Well, I still am a little bit, but kind of knocking out a couple cool things. This week, stay tuned. I'll have another haul, but it's going to be limited to May the 4th. I would say if I'm getting away from positivity in the community. Love to hear your thoughts, but again, I'm kind of negative and down a little bit on Lego's promos. It just isn't enticing enough. There's not anything like that Death Star. It's just my wallet is getting harder and harder. I'm like really struggling with trying to figure out ways to afford. I have to play games to afford a lot of this like, I mean, I could afford it, but I've got more important things with my money overall in terms of investments and the kitchen, repaying the kitchen off and all these things that we've been doing. The summer school is expensive. The kids are still expensive. So it's hard to kind of like have that discretionary income just drop $1,000 in all these new sets that are coming out. So I've got to play the game. I play the discount game. I play different things to kind of use my VIP points and different things to kind of make it work. But with that, I'd love to hear your comments. How do you stay positive? Do you think it's really up to the community, or is it up to yourself individually? So, and I really thank you, everybody watching, because while I do the channel for myself, I feel like it's your positive vibes. You know, again, the folks that started it originally with Ronnie, really the Brickatech tree of YouTube content creators, and Andy and Ronnie and so on and so forth. And thank you for your positive energy. It really helps, because I will say this week after vacation, it was hard to get back into it. So it was hard to stay positive and even want to do a video. So thank you so much for all of your support and encouragement. Ben, again, with all of your positive streams. If there's some really fun things that I really enjoy watching Builder Buds and Slippery Bricks, and I know Clicking Cliff likes to macro at the streams, and Ben streams. There's a lot of positive. Hive's got lots of fun stuff. I try to keep up with as much as I can. I'm been down as a viewer lately, but I think, one of these days the Ukraine war needs to stop so that I can get back into watching more Lego content versus like news, because I'm just like suckered in. But I think it's an important thing. So with that, I think I don't really have a ton else to share other than, again, I'm just building as much as I can during this. Now we have freezing weather in Chicago coming, so this week is the week I need to get after it and get it done. So let me know in the comments. There's I don't really have any sponsors as a small YouTube channel. The only the positive news again. Boy, I just keep like finding things as I ramble. My Mercari store, I closed it for vacation for obvious reasons, because you need to ship. You can't just like have a sale and then let it go for 3 days. I try to ship everything within 24 hours, but I reopened my store, had a little bit of activity, and then all of a sudden now some sales are starting to hit, getting like about a sale every 3 or 4 days. I probably need to reload it because I'm probably running out of stuff. I don't want to keep like reducing my price down to 0. I mean, that's just kind of pointless. Eventually the right buyer will step across. I mean, that's the point of a store. So my Mercari link, if you haven't bought, sold, all that kind of stuff, speaking of a positive experience and community, the Mercari Lego community is not bad. It's probably not as profitable as those that are selling on like eBay, Amazon, and there's a little bit more excitement with Whatnot, but I don't know. I feel like if you're not a big auctioneer, I don't know how Whatnot really makes sense for other than maybe like buyers. But so I just I'm my own sponsor essentially. So by liking this video and subscribing if you're new, and for my existing people, thank you again. But if you're new, that is a huge sponsorship. It's a huge positive vibe with your vote to subscribe, hitting the bell, hitting the like button. It's so much appreciated, more than you know. So thank you so much, and we'll catch you next week. I'm back to normal programming with Journal Entry. Bye for now.